The time has come. Call of Duty Champs is here. This year, Champs is in Toronto. Well, actually, it's in Kitchener. I don't know where that is. I think it's somewhat close to Toronto. But the first day of Champs did not disappoint and set an explosive tone for an intense weekend of Call of Duty. So sit back and get comfortable as we look at everything that happened during day one at 2025 CDL Champs.
Oh my God!
The day started by showing some love to the best players during the regular season. Black Ops 6 saw the emergence of some new stars like Rencor, but for the most part, we're seeing a lot of familiar faces back on the stage, including the entire FaZe roster. Only the top 8 made champs, and the first day was full of competitive matchups with the best teams in the league. And in the race for champs, LAT and FaZe were fighting for that first seed, and everyone else was pretty far behind. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out this weekend. But starting day one, we had Miami Heretics face off against Vancouver Surge. This matchup is the story of two very different teams. When Surge added Neptune in February, they became one of the best teams in the game, reaching the grand finals at Major 2 and Major 3. However, the most recent split was one of their worst of the season as they fell to top 12 in Dallas. On the other hand, Miami Heretics surprised the entire CDL by making their first Sunday appearance at Major 1 in Madrid. They consistently competed against the top teams all season and got top 3 at Major 4. They're a very dangerous team when in form, and this game was likely to go the distance. This is the third time all season that they faced off against each other, and Miami eliminated Surge at Champs last season, so they're trying to do it again right now. The maps and vetoes were in, and we started map 1 on Vault Hardpoint. There were many questions as to whether Surge could return to their previous form, and 04 shut the doubters down early.
Surge looking to eclipse his 100-point mark and just putting in damage, putting in work against this Heretics team. It's 4 straight 404, 4 in the chamber, just trying to get a little more ammo here to work with. He's got some help in from Abuza, and they are locking this down. Heretics are getting slammed here in the map 1. And
he was doing a bit of everything to open the series, going double positive, and Miami let the early champs jitters get to them with all of them going negative. The second map was Surge's opportunity to pull away and upset Miami. The first few rounds went back and forth until Neptune got an incredible 1v2 to give Surge the lead.
You do have a nade. If you are Neptune, here's the slide out. He's gonna spot both, and there we go. Rencor slides away. Super gonna reposition. You still have some life if you are Neptune, but time working against you.
Chow on the 1, able to win it. Under 15 to go. No way. Finds the second, wins it, and Neptune with the 1v2.
However, Heretics did not let this shake them, and Metal stepped up when he needed to most. He was a bit inconsistent this season, but showed up when it mattered. Heretics clutched the final few rounds and won their opening duels 6 rounds to 3. Now, neither team is very good at control this season, but Surge is considerably worse. To win the series and make a run at champs, this is the game mode that they need to win. The first defensive round started well for them as they shut down Miami, but the second round was really the turning point of the series. Heretics began to get comfortable, shutting down Surge in the next 3 rounds.
Gonna layer this map. Real trying to throw in a little theatrics there, but his AR is looking over it. Rentor's gonna find one. Rentor gonna win the map with 2. And you can see what it means.
Now in the Hacienda hardpoint, this was the last opportunity for Surge to make this series go the distance, but 04 couldn't replicate his strong performance for map 1, and Surge paid the price. Miami fought hard and took an early lead, maintaining it throughout the rest of the game. Rencor showed why he was chosen for the All-Star team, and Metals was the X factor. They dominated the 4th map.
Super's route up through halls, gonna get him in behind 2 players, and
flip here.
able to get both.
Neptune trying to do what he can, but Rentor gets 3. Super with the 4th.
Continue to hold, only 22 points needed for this Heretics squad, and the second 2 players remaining on the push for Surge. Abuza trying to get him in. Will his multi be enough? No. Super and Metals hold, and moving on to the winner's bracket.
To beat Surge at champs for the 2nd year in a row. ARs are definitely the deciding factor for Surge's champs run. Miami are looking scary. Best performance I've seen from them, that was clean after map 1. Miami play the winner of the next series, LA Thieves versus Boston Breach. When Nadeshot announced the new Thieves roster, they were immediately regarded as the next super team in the Call of Duty League. And despite some setbacks along the way, they have met expectations. Scrap and Hydra both deserved the MVP award this season, and they finished the year with the first seed. Boston Breach is entering the tournament as the last seed, and Major 4 was one of their poorest splits yet. Recently, their gameplay has declined, but they previously defeated Thieves earlier in the season. This is Purge's first champs appearance, and the Breach players feel like they have a lot to prove. As the underdogs in this matchup, they aim for an unlikely run in the bracket, and this was one of the craziest series yet. We started on Vault Hardpoint, and Hydra opened the Thieves champs run with a 5-kill streak.
Hydra to attack through the front side at truck, find an opening double, even though his teammates don't want the spawn towards the back end. They're still making this scrappy to close this one out. Hydra now on 5 in a row. Yeah, let's just go for the ego, Chow. You already know that you're feeling yourself, but...
Thieves is the best hardpoint team in the game, but Boston was able to keep up with their slaying performance as Snoopy and Awakening started the map strong. Breach kept it close until the middle of the game, but the Thieves slaying power was just too much for them to keep up with, and LAT closed out Game 7 after Cammy's 7 spree.
But LA are still working their way around over towards Vault Stairs. Cammy gonna relinquish the position up high to move down in towards the low ground, and Cammy's now on 7 in a row.
Has earned himself a Hellstorm.
199 to 242. Not a lot of room to breathe with here for Boston. He's going to place a perfect hard point, but they are providing. Hydra able to find 2, but Awakening there for the trade. 1v1 over the time, and Ghosty finds the win. Any chance for Boston to get here? It's going to have to be by the way of a mad dash, and it doesn't look like any...
Hydra carried over a strong map 1 performance with the sneaky ninja defuse to open the game.
To plant this is actually going to allow Thieves a chance to come back over, but a supporting nade from Awakening keeps them away, and we're going to get the 2v2 post plant.
Yeah, that's actually such a beautiful nade there from Awakening. But now Hydra's not going to waste any time.
Why would you? Cammy able to find the first. Hydra. Oh, Ice in the blood just sticks.
And then Snoopy answered back in the following round.
They needed. He's actually got 3 of the 4 rounds worth of first bloods at this point. That's a nice little up and over. Feels the advantage for the second. Great replay, Cam, as Snoopy is good for the majority of the kills here in this round.
Unfortunately, Hydra couldn't find a kill throughout this whole game, dropping a donut. At least he got the defuse though, but Boston took advantage of the Thieves' hesitation and won Hacienda with Snoopy going 11-3. Now, I thought there was no way Boston was going to win Vault Control, but somehow they carried that momentum from S&D into the first round of Control. They started strong on the offense.
The Purge now pushing forward. A couple of kills come through it. Hold on a second, a little bit of an Uno reverse card. Now all of a sudden Boston have a bit of a spawn trap going with pressure with 2 members on the zone. Making 3 stacked up on the B. First tick is done. Second on the way. Purge with another elimination topside hard. And how about this for Boston? Looking good for all 3 ticks over towards the B zone. LA trying to get there to contest, but they cannot get there in time.
But LA Thieves took the next one. Thieves settled into the respawn and Hydra started heating up, but that didn't last very long because Boston surprised everyone, including myself, by winning the next defense, and then you just gotta watch how this final round played out.
The only one who's here. He'll fall immediately. Envoy is still deep behind this play, but is he in a position to do too much with this? 8v5. Hydra gets the opener. 2 ticks of progress gonna come through. Envoy still not part of the play yet. Here comes the 3rd tick of progress. Can Boston find the second map by winning it here? Scrap on the point. Good for 2 on the clock.
Purge is finessing. He's able to find a one-on-one gunfight. Able to find the second. Now it's a 1v5. Scrap, can you make a Cammy play? No, you cannot.
It looked like Envoy was kind of stuck behind the play at the end, and Purge was making game-changing plays, and he definitely came out with something to prove. Now, Purge was playing incredibly well at the start of the series, so Thieves' main goal was to shut him down. Boston kept the game close on rewind, but once I heard the Thieves listening, I knew it was over.
Single. Just make time, just go back, cover girl on the play, boys. Go back. They spawn P2. Nice. I'm coming glass 2, good second.
P2, one bullet to Awakening going book.
Come here.
Yeah, it's gonna be book, Awakening.
Book. It's gonna be Soda. Book right now. Nice, Soda. Mid door. Watch out, absolute mid door. Hold it. 20 burgers.
First guy book.
And they closed out map 4 pretty easily, with Ghosty and Scrap having 3.6k damage each. Thieves were right where they wanted to be for map 5. Boston started strong with an early 2-0 lead. Hydra bounced back and kept Thieves in the game, but Boston shocked everyone with a dominant performance in the final map.
Guarantee himself a kill. Boston with 6 first bloods on the map. Purge able to find the second, and that's already round done. The Breach.
And to once again play this same setup with Awakening and Purge. They tried this the last time. It didn't work as Purge was found. This time it's a different setup. Hydra through mid-map.
Snoopy, he was thinking that the play is going to be over towards B. He potentially is going to have a big one-on-one on the cards.
I'm dead to H1.
They had a month of practice before this event, and all of that practice paid off, and I'm pretty sure 50% of the brackets were busted after this series. Snoopy went 19-6 between the two S&Ds against LA Thieves and was the main reason for this upset. The underdogs prevail and take down the #1 seed. I did not see this one coming at all. Purge went big in the series and had to let LA Thieves hear it. I don't know how anyone could have predicted that series, but in the next one, we got the home team playing in front of the home crowd, Toronto Ultra. Now, remember last year, OpTic had the home crowd at Champs, and they ended up winning the whole thing. So can Toronto do the same thing this year? They've been a top 3 or 4 team all season, finishing 3rd at 2 out of the 4 events, but they haven't made the grand finals. And in a recent interview, Kleenex said he was not satisfied with their performance, saying that Ultra is ready to win their first ring in CDL history. The underdog in this matchup is Carolina Royal Ravens. Being a lower seed in the tournament, they struggled all season to find their footing after a strong start. They made a roster change involving Dylan Rex, but Gwyn is the main focus for this team, and this is his last chance to turn it around. They went to a Game 5, Round 11 at Major 4 with this team, so it was expected to go the distance. So let's see how it played out. In map 1, Toronto had the advantage. I mean, they're 18-12 on LAN, and Carolina is 4-13. Gwyn got off to a hot start early, and he was frying this whole game, but Kleenex responded with his SMG and went on an 8-kill streak.
Done. You find the kills all over the place. You managed to net the time as well. Kleenex starting to get things going. He's nearly pulled himself out of the deficit he found himself in to start things off. This could be number 13, his 5th in a row if you can catch it. 10 seconds remaining here on P1, and we go towards New and Kleenex. There it is, 5 in a row.
Out, make mistakes. He's trying to be in the right spot. 6-3, and again in P2, where you
now for Tobias Yul Johnson, number 8. He's looking towards the
started pulling away with the lead and completely shut down the Ravens despite a crazy slaying performance from Gwyn. I'm not really sure how he managed to get 40 kills and outslay his whole team for the L. That's a pretty ridiculous stat, but what's even more ridiculous is that Insight had 3 minutes of hill time, which could be a new record in the CDL. Toronto shut down the Ravens, and we moved to a map 2 on Dealership Search and Destroy. Gwyn carried that performance over to map 2, starting the game 7-3.
reads for Carolina. On point with the utility. When the pace is slow, kids are happy.
Oh yeah. Real
By
happy.
kids, I mean the old men. The old 30-year-olds.
And here comes the next wave of nades. Wow, look at that. 3, I believe, cars explode there. So no
Joe made some good plays early on to give Ultra the lead. It was honestly an incredible search and destroy game, going back and forth until it came down to the old generation versus the new in a tense 1v1.
Slash is going to create some sort of discord there in the Ultra lineup. Oh, that is magnificent from Tej! And able to get the second man, but Slasher now maneuvers in. Can he make it a 1v1? He sure can! Young Joe steps up for it. Eyes are on, and the bomb planted as well. Here we go. It's the new school versus the old school, and the dance is on. Joseph down! Slasher puts the Ravens on map point.
Carolina closed it out with a retake on bomb and tied the series 1-1. Joe has been incredible this season against Ravens, and he continued in round 1 of the protocol control. TJ Halley and Rex made some clutch plays on A to take the first offensive round, but Toronto responded with a strong offense. The crowd was behind them. Dylan Rex tried to quiet them.
The A pressure now opening. You know where the last 2 players are. Rex cleans one of them up, and he got a double stack on A. This is looking good on the minimap. It should be secured.
A lovely corner from Rex as well. Going to get any more of the spawners. Top spot covered now, and again, he's eyes on. But that's going to be the A-zone done. So beautiful stuff, Dylan Rex.
Go to C's before the spawn traps get a little bit crazy. So he is a nuisance on grandmas, and he continues to be a 5.
But Ultra had the clutch factor, and with 1.1 seconds left, they did this.
Ravens have done it. There might be a contest, but there's no way you cut through this position. 1.1 seconds on it. Wait a minute. The Ravens haven't done it. Last play. Last hope. Can we go from 1.1 to a minute? We can! The game continues!
Still finds an extra, trying to get away. He's going to get cut down 3v1. Last man standing, Slasher.
Gotta get on the time as well. 7.6 stops. Slasher, last man, left alive. Fighting for his life. Fighting for the map. Ultra, they've somehow done it. A pixel perfect play.
And all the momentum was in Ultra's favor. On top of that, Joe went 41-31. Map 4 was really scrappy to start, and both teams were trading the hill, putting pressure on each other. We had a chance to hear Ultra remain calm, cool, and collected in their comms.
You might pitch? Yes.
My front time, man. Show my front push.
Get a wee bit. Give me cop car. Where's my push? Still dead. Watch out. I need your front.
I'll see your front.
Left and sick, yeah. Good slide on boats. Good slide on boats.
Carolina was a bit more animated.
Watch out, Joe. Blue, Joe.
I'll see blue.
No, yo, last side glass. Could be deeper. I'll take a boom, take a boom.
I'll see blue.
He's booked. Yo, deeper,
One shot.
Book inside. Up here.
He's out of blue. I'm on blue.
And it came down to the final moments as Toronto clutched in front of the home
What we
crowd.
saw was a delight. This will decide the map. And this is the entry. The trades are coming in. Ultra, they will be here first. Here we go. Hardpoint ready to go. Ultra are inside.
Kleenex finds one on the flank, and that is that. Teach, down, gone, Ultra, get it.
You know, Benjamin Beans had to let him know, and I felt bad because Gwyn looked absolutely defeated. Carolina falls to the losers bracket, and Toronto will play the winner of OpTic versus FaZe. Before we get to that series, we got to hear from Joe, the match MVP.
I've never had like a fan base on my side at events, so to hear this, you know, walking out with the biggest smile on my face, you guys are amazing. I mean, I love you all, and thank you so much.
Now the match we've all been waiting for, El Clasico. What better way to end day one of COD Champs than with this historic rivalry? They even put up a graphic of the all-time wins for each team, and it's pretty crazy how far back this thing goes. Now, both of their seasons have been very interesting to say the least. OpTic has probably had the most confusing season in its history with so many roster changes. They picked up Hook at the beginning of the year and Mercules at the end of the year, and he's looking like one of the best players in the game. They haven't won an event all season, and they have the chance to make history in Kitchener. Atlanta FaZe continue to be a consistent top 2 team in the game every single year, and this season was no different. They placed second in Hardpoint, first in S&D, second in Control, and their stats are insane. Every single one of them were on the all-star team as well, and Atlanta FaZe was definitely favored in this matchup. The maps and vetoes were in, and we started on Hacienda Hardpoint. Now, Shotzi had a slow start, but Hook and Mercules were locked in to keep the game close.
Make it messy for the reinforcements to come in, but the reinforcements going to get shut down, or are they? They aren't. Hook's able to turn that into 2. Dashy gets one off spot, and suddenly you've got Rock control. This is the best hard point for FaZe through the first set. Now Texas in control.
This game was about as close as it gets going into the middle of the map. OpTic kept on getting the hill, and FaZe kept breaking it, but Hook had some incredible moments and a lot of multi-kills, which gave OpTic the lead, and they locked it down with some key gunfights on the final few hills to close out map 1 with a 50-point lead.
For FaZe. Mercules, though, dealing with it on one side. The tracking on point for the second. 15 now. Needed for the win. Abizi is weak and silent. Selim is cut down. Just 10 now to go. The next phase push, it may be the last phase push, in and coming. Looking for the openings. They're not finding them. It's Mercules. It's Hoop holding the line. FaZe in trouble. OpTic locking it down. OpTic.
Simp struggled in map 1, but has historically been strong against OpTic and S&D. I mean, it's hard to think of times when he's gone negative, and he was just completely off of his game this series. The rookie arrived early in this S&D.
Get him, good day. He held his pocket, though, so he's able to get the kill.
Yup, damn it.
Yes, he got Hercules. Hercules trying to get versus 2. Go.
OpTic looked well prepared and making decisive plays. FaZe couldn't find their rhythm throughout the map, and OpTic took a shocking 2-0 lead. Now, I had OpTic winning this series, but I would have never thought it would be this dominant. The last time they played FaZe on this map mode combo, they won 3-0, and it looked like the same thing would happen after the round 1 domination.
And then shoot players in the back. 10 seconds to go. Up 9 lives. OpTic in cruise control here in the opening defense. Last desperation effort to maybe get a body onto the point. Cell just going to get there, or is he?
FaZe kept their composure to clutch the next defense, but like I said, Simp and the rest of the FaZe squad looked unrecognizable. The highlight of this map had to be Dashy thinking the game was over.
Texas defense simply too strong. This is the teamwork we've been looking for all year. One more round.
And I think Dashy, yeah, he had to get reminded he had to win one more round.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, did he think they won?
Good thing they managed to close it out in a dominant fashion, making the all-time OpTic versus FaZe record 40-38. OpTic securing another upset on the day. For FaZe, this is concerning if they aren't able to fix their mistakes and settle into the tournament. They'll have to make a losers bracket run, but no team has ever won CDL champs after losing winners round 1. To close out day 1, we got to hear from the nuke himself.
Locked in, but what do you want to say to these fans out here cheering Hoop?
Hey, appreciate everyone here, man. This is lit.
This is lit. You heard it here from the nuke, and that's gonna do it for us on the stage. Chris. close this out.
After day one thing is clear. The rookies have arrived. There are so many new players who stole the show today, and it marks the start of a new era. Mercules was #1 on the KD leaderboards by the end of the day, and this is his 3rd ever CDL event. We have 3 more days of Call of Duty, and there are 0 perfect brackets left. It's gonna be an interesting event, and we'll have to see who comes out on top. Here's a look at the bracket before day 2, so let me know what you thought about the first day in the comment section below. We're off to a wild start, and it's just the beginning.